Hello Tacticians! It's time for an unscheduled tactic bug video. I found a discrepancy between the ability descriptions and actual behavior of the Grot Loot team in Salvage that I do not like and want Snowprint to fix one way or another. I posted it in the bug reporting channel on the official Discord yesterday on the 31st of May, but I'm also making a video on it because I don't mind being on Snowprint's shit list if it increases the pressure on them to make the game better, and because I want to enlist your help in doing so. Thank you in advance, and now to the actual issue. The extra treasure piles that the Grot Loot team is supposed to drop for each hit do not contain any treasure, at least not in Imperial Salvage Sector 30, Zone 1. To demonstrate and double check that it's not just a visual bug where the gold just doesn't show during the fight or post-fight tally but actually increases your wealth after the run, I made my gold be exactly 900,000 gold, so that there is no real maths involved. Time to Salvage Run. Okay, so this is pretty much my standard salvage team now. I will have to wait for the Loot Grot teams, Grot Loot teams, Team Loot Grots to appear. There. Okay, that's not great. I need the Grot team to survive. They should survive the first hit from Lucian. Anyway, their stats. They contain 2150 gold on destruction, and their ability, the passive, when this unit is attacked, a steppable crate of 2150 gold is spawned in a free adjacent hex for each hit taken. Now this isn't exactly correct, because the loot team needs to survive the attack for the gold to spawn. Okay, so that's an explosive. I keep forgetting that his normal attack is explosion and not bolter like his passive. I fucked up. Never mind, there will be one more Loot Grot team in the fight. I just need to make the Gemini occupied. There, okay, so same thing again, another Loot Grot team. Why is it Loot Grot team? Why isn't it Grot Loot team? Anyway, once again, the loot team is supposed to drop 2150 gold. The ability again is supposed to spawn 2150 gold on an adjacent hex. Now, with Yarrick, I can drop exactly one treasure pile, because while he does have 2 hits, the Grot Loot team has diminutive, so it reduces attacks that are incoming by 1 hit. Boop. Okay, so this is the new coin crate. It's supposed to contain 2150 gold. Let's check. Oh, 0 gold. That's nice. By the way, the Loot Grot teams do drop the 2150 for the kill. I checked that, that's fine. We can review it if you roll back the video. Okay, so let's have Bellator pick up the pile and let's see how much gold it drops. There, down bottom of the screen, 0. Cool. Okay, let's finish the team. There, that was the 2150. And now I can continue the run as Mother Nature intended. Also note that when the Loot Grot team was destroyed, even though it took a crap load of hits, it didn't spawn that gold. Yeah. Keep stacking Celestine's Act of Faith to make sure the armored lockbox gets broken. There are no interesting enemies anymore, so I can drop the BBs. There. Blap, that's the armored lockbox opened. And this should be the last wave, and it's cleared. Perfect. Now, usually there is 24 point a little something gold in the run. Yep, 24,104. That's pretty average for this stage. Nothing extra. Okay, and now let's see how much gold I got at the end of the run in the actual tally. Or, well, in my actual wallet. 924,104 gold, so it does correspond to the tally. So the one pile that was supposed to be 2,000 did nothing. Now, there is an explanation for this. It is possible that the gold that the Grot Loot Team drops when it's hit is supposed to reduce the amount of gold on them, meaning you cannot increase the amount of gold they actually drop in total, which would make sense, but then it should at least be indicated in the ability. And the ability says, in this exact case, in this specific case, that they drop well, pretty much exactly the gold that they carry, which they obviously don't. So either the description is completely wrong, or the ability doesn't work in this case. Either way, I would very much like Snowprint to fix this, because if you're supposed to be able to get more gold out of hitting the Grot Loot teams by weak units with many attacks, so that they drop several extra treasure piles, then we are being cheated out of a lot of gold. You can easily get 4,000 more out of this stage without all that much preparation. And gold is one of the not battle caps, bottlenecks for progress. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I would like to ask you for your experience with this, to double check what happens in other stages that contain the Grot Loot teams in the comments. And if you think this is a bug and not intended behavior, in the way that the Grot Loot team isn't supposed to drop extra gold, but it's supposed to reduce its own carried gold that you would lose if you were to, say, scare them away accidentally instead of killing the whole team, then please do give Snowprint hell about this in the bug reporting channel. Feel free to reference this video. Thank you in advance, and good luck in the Trajan Valoris LRE. I will put up some videos on it after I hopefully clear the whole alpha track. And with hiccups. And with that, I'm off, and I wish you a nice Saturday, or whatever Saturday you want to have. Bye for now, Tactician.
Get the bug out of my favorite mobile game, devs.